Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Etude House Look at My Eye Gelato eyeshadows. Now before we have any comments, I think on camera I literally look like I might be slightly dead, like my eyes look terrible, and the reason for that is because of these shadows. I tried to fix it, so my eyes have had layers of red shadow and purple shadow, which is making them look red and purple, and the pigments are staining my skin and I can't get it all off. So your gal tried her best. I took the makeup off, I put more of the same cushion back on, but it still looks like I've got these like circles of doom around my eyes, and yeah, that is the fault of these shadows. But really it's not particularly the shadow's fault, it's because I've reapplied eyeshadow on my eyes 7 times today, so they are red, they are irritated, and there is not really much I can do about that, so yeah. So I cannot find a product description for the Look at My Eyes Gelato series, but in general they're just eyeshadows. There are 3 matte shades and 2 shimmery shades in the collection, and they also came with an organizer because I paid extra to get the organizer as well, which is super cute. So I'll show you what the organizer looks like at the end of the video. Actually, let's just show you a clip of what it looks like now. It hasn't got that much stuff in it, which is probably a good thing because I need to do a full makeup clean out if it's not up already. I should be filming it soon, so good luck to me, but let's get on with the swatches. So I'm going to start out with the lightest colour, which is PP 506 Sweet Taro. So I'm just going to apply swatches onto my eyelids. This side is non-primed and this side is primed, just to show you the difference between the two. So I'm just using a flat shader brush. This one is from Zoeva, but it doesn't really matter where the shader brushes are from because I'm just using these to pack the pigment on. I'm not going to be that tidy. So this shade is a very, very light purple colour. I have to say that I get almost zero wear out of it. And I think that it's really hard to use because you have to use so much of it. And it just doesn't show up that well. Although it's doing a fine job today apparently. So, and then I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the primed side and show you guys what it looks like. And if there is any difference, I'm just using the Etude House Proof 10 eye primer, I believe, on this side. It's literally the only primer I have. But you know what? It actually does a really great job of priming eyeshadows, so no regrets. So I'm not doing the most amazing job at blending these around the crease because I can't be bothered, but that is the difference between priming and not priming. You can see that the side that is primed is so much more vibrant than the side that is not primed. So I highly recommend priming these shadows. It makes a huge difference, especially for this shade. I think I could probably pack more into this side, but it just doesn't, yeah, it doesn't stick as well. So the shade itself is really, really pretty, but it does definitely full 100% require a primer. The next shade I'm going to show you is number PK013, which is Homemade Peach Gelato. Of course I cleaned my brush off, but it is still a little bit stained with the colour, and I'm going to apply this to the non-primed side first using the same technique. So I'm basically patting this eyeshadow on to build up the most pigmentation, and then I'm going to kind of swipe around the outside just to blend it out a little bit, but I'm not super fast on the blending, so don't come here and judge me. It's just a swatch. Just showing you what the shade looks like. So that is on the unprimed side. And that is what it looks like on the primed side. So it's so much more vibrant, really badly blended, leave me alone. But that is the difference between the two. So this is PK013 Homemade Peach Gelato. The next shade is BR414 Yummy Berry Choco, which looks like this. This one is definitely more pigmented as it is a darker shade, so it's obviously a bit more visible on the unprimed side almost immediately. So this is what BR414 looks like without being primed. It's not bad. It is a little bit patchy around here, and around my eyelid, but I think that's just my application skills rather than anything else. So I'm going to apply it to the primed side now, and that is my shockingly blended application on the primed side. So it's obviously much more pigmented. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but if you like the sheer application, then just don't prime your eyelids and you get a bit of a nicer sheer wash of colour. The primed side does make them a lot more pigmented. It's quite hard to get them off when they've been primed, so longevity is much better. But it's also staining my eyelids, so. Okay, and now for the shimmer shades. So this one is BK805 Creamy Earl Grey, which is a really beautiful shimmery shade. So there is the difference between the two. I think that with the shimmer in particular, there isn't that much difference between the primed side and the unprimed. This one looks a little bit more bronzy gold. You can kind of see the underlying pigment a little bit, but it's not the biggest difference. So if you're just using the shimmer, then it's not as bad. The last shadow is this vibrant purple. This is PP512 Fresh Frozen Blueberry. And this is like a shade that I would never normally wear. Also, we've lost the wings, RIP. So that is the shadow on the unprimed side, and then that is the shadow on the primed side. I think that the primed side looks a little bit darker in comparison to unprimed, but the difference is not as substantial as with the mattes. This is a really pretty colour. It has the purple undertone for the shadow, and then the shimmer is like a blue, which I think is really unusual. I have never worn purple eyeshadow, and I don't think I probably will, but yeah, I can appreciate the colour for sure. So I'm going to show you a couple of looks that I have created with these eyeshadows. I literally feel like a vampire right now, and I don't know why on camera it looks so vampy, but okay. So to create this like really dramatic eye look, I used the base colour, which is the Homemade Peach Gelato, all over my lid and up into my crease. I think that's maybe why I feel like I look very vampiric, because it's like a very pinky sort of tone. I then used the brown, which is Yummy Berry Choco, in the outer crease and outer V. And then I have the shimmer, which is the Creamy Earl Grey, on the inner part of my lower lash line. I didn't want to do a shimmery look like I normally would, where I would do the darker colours and then put the shimmer in the middle of the eye, because literally every single eye look looks like that. So I went for something a little bit different, and I feel like I don't know who I look like right now. It's just, this is very not me. But I think that that's a really pretty look to make with the shadows. I think if I was to wear false lashes, it would probably look a little bit cuter. But you know what? I can't be bothered finding my false lashes. I don't wear them that often, so I don't actually know where they are. So yeah. So this is most of the matte colours in one eyeshadow look. Okay, so this is my struggle with the two purple shades. And why do I look like I'm dead? This look is absolute trash, if I may say so myself, before someone else does. It didn't work. And you know why? Because this purple shade is terrible. Also because this is a pinky purple and this is a bluey purple. So now I look like I just got punched in the face and tried to cover it up with some darker purple eyeshadow. Not a look. So this is what the eyes look like up close, and it looks a little bit less trashy up close than it does far away. Don't ask me why, I don't know, I hate it. So I used the lighter purple all over the lid, and it has literally disappeared. And I've put it on twice so far, and it just keeps disappearing. And yes, I did prime my eyes. So all you can really see is the darker purple, which yeah, is beautiful, but doesn't really go with anything else that I own at all. So you can kind of see the shadow where that lighter purple is, but it just looks like someone punched me in the eye rather than actually looking like a blended shadow. It looks terrible. Also, you can kind of see right through here where there's like a dark purple patch. Yep, that's the fallout from the dark purple shadow that is now embedded into my foundation and won't come off my face. So you can really see the darker purple. It is gorgeous, but like the lighter purple may not be there. May as well not even be there at all. You cannot see it. So I'm going to pack on a little bit more so you can kind of see it there. But it legitimately just disappears into my skin, never to be seen again. I don't know. My eyes hurt and I cannot do any more of this. So that's what we're getting today. So these are not the first Etude House Look at My Eyes eyeshadows that I've tried. I have the Minnie Mouse ones as well, and I did like the Minnie Mouse ones a lot better. The shadow shades are not what I was expecting, to be honest. I don't know what happened with them, but they don't look anything like what I have. My shadow shades are bizarrely different. Even the swatches on the eyes that I'm looking at, like, I don't know, they look totally different to what I have, which is frustrating, but yeah. So for the shadow quality, it's a bit of a 50-50. They work really, really well with a primer, but they don't work that well without a primer. There are two shadows that I do not like whatsoever, and they are sadly the two purple shades. So the lighter purple shade, which is PP506 Sweet Taro, this literally just blends into my skin. And I've used so much of it, like there's an actual dip in the shadow pan, because I have tried and tried and tried to get it to show up on my skin. And even with a primer, like I showed you with the very last look that was absolutely atrocious, which I just took off, you can't see it on my skin. It's just so frustrating. So I don't like this one because I cannot see it. It just kind of makes me look a bit sick and like I've been punched in the face. No good. And then the dark purple as well. This has so much fallout, and then the fallout will not come off my skin. So I had like a big chunk of it up here where I tried to sweep it up and away, and it just embedded itself into my foundation, which is again why I think that my skin still looks a little bit like, ugh, because it's still sticking to my skin. Like I need a good like oil cleanse to get it off, which I will have at the end of the day, but I'm not going to redo my whole set of makeup just for this. So I'm glad I'm filming these last. So this one, I like the colour. I think it's really pretty, but the shadow quality is not that good. You just have to use so much product to actually get it onto your skin. And because you're picking so much up, obviously the fallout of the product gets everywhere and it's not worth it. The other three shades I do quite like. I'm not the hugest fan of the other shimmer shade. It's on my eyelids at the moment and I just really cannot see it. It's supposed to be like an olive green sort of colour, but for me it just looks like my skin tone with a bit of silver shimmer in it. So even with the primer, this one doesn't show up that much, so I don't recommend it. I just don't think that it's the best quality and it's just not the greatest shadow. It's not bad, but it's just not great. I do like the two brown shades, but they are really, really warm toned. I think that that's quite cool because I don't have that many of the like reddy burgundy warm tones in my collection. So these are the two that I'm probably going to be holding on to, whereas the other three I think I'm going to be passing on those ones because I just don't have any use for them and they're really just not that good. So I'm going to be getting rid of those ones and keeping these two. I think that in particular the lighter pinky brown is really, really lovely. It could make a really nice transition shade as well. The darker chocolate is okay. It's not like a unique color, that's all, but it is a good quality color and these work beautifully with a primer underneath. So I would definitely recommend these ones out of the Gelato collection. So thank you guys so much for watching this review and I will see you next time. Bye!